Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Sheik Saryaniya Al-Afriki Abdurrahman Jawara. In today's episode, I'm talking about the abbreviated letters in the Quran. That is called the huruf al-muqata'at fil Quran. Specifically, I'll be dealing with the letters of light, which is called in Arabic huruf nur, letters of light of mysterious and mystical denotations with embedded hidden powers of Allah Azza wa Jal. So this is a very interesting topic. This has been a subject of discussion by several experts, educationists, and scientists. I'll be dealing with it in a very simpler way so that people can get a glimpse of the abbreviated letters in the Quran, and specifically the verses of the Quran. The verses of the Quran, there are 6,666 verses in the Quran. It's really not easy to calculate the verses of the Quran. It takes a lot of time to do the calculations, of which we have the huruf nur, which are the huruf muqata'at in the Quran, the abbreviated letters in the Quran, which form part of the calculation of the verses of the Quran. These verses sum up to 6,666 verses. But it takes a critical mind to calculate these verses to arrive at that number, 6,666 verses. Some educationists, some scientists say some verses, long verses like Ayatul Kursiyu, are divided into 2 or 3 or 4 parts. Even that, it's really difficult to ascertain the division points of the verses, so it's really difficult. So I'm dealing with them holistically as one verse based on the numerical aspect of the Quran. So I deal with the numerical aspect of the Quran from verse to verse to give us this calculation of 6,666 verses. Now we can go right into, we start with the huruf nur. The huruf nur, they are found in 29 surahs in the Quran. This is the list of surahs in which we have the abbreviated letters in 29 surahs, as you can see on the screen. The first one is Baqarah, the second one is Al-Imran, the third one is Al-Araf. So you can see there are 29 surahs onto Nun wal Qalam, which is the last abbreviated letter in the Quran. So what we do normally in terms of getting these numbers, these verses, we start with Surah Al-Baqarah. Each position, the position of each letter, each abbreviated letter, as you can see, Alif, Lam, Mim. Alif, Lam, Mim. So this Alif Lam Mim has its distinctive position with regard to the surah and the position it occupies. So each position has its mystical interpretation. Each letter in each position has its own mystical interpretation, mysterious interpretation, which which has the powers of Allah embedded in them. In most cases, people say Allahu A'lam. Yes, that is true, but it's necessary that we think critically. We develop a critical mind about these letters and the calculation of the verses of the Quran, starting from the Huruf Nur, which are the letters of light. So these letters of light occupy 29 positions in 29 surahs in the Quran. So each one is dealt with as a unique aspect of itself. Like Alif has its own uniqueness in Surah Al-Baqarah, and the Lam has its own uniqueness. The Mim has its own uniqueness. The same thing, Al-Imran, the Alif has its own uniqueness. The Lam has its own uniqueness. And the Mim also has its own uniqueness. The same thing for all of the surahs, all of the abbreviated letters in the other surahs, as you can see. So, the first thing to think about in terms of calculating the verses of the Quran, each letter occupies its own distinctive position vis-a-vis the surah in which it is specified to. So, what we do is we start to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's start again. Alif Lam Mim, we start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78. I left out this Ain, Sin, Qaf. So 78. We have 78 letters in 78 positions in 29 surahs. 78 letters means 78 positions in 29 surahs, as you can see. You too can count 78 positions in 29 letters, in 29 surahs in the Quran. Thus, we have 78 positions in 29. So, in 29 surahs. So, what we do is we calculate, we put the 78, as you see here, the 78 letters of light in 29 surahs in the Quran, 78 positions in 29 surahs in the Quran, in mystical positions. The 78 positions of the 14 letters of light in the 29 surahs are mystical positions of embedded powers by Allah Jal, which the ordinary mind cannot understand. Then the last tenth of the Quran from Surah Al-Mudadila, from Surah Al-Mudadila, it goes right down to Surah Al-Nas in 57 surahs, immediately after Surah Al-Hadid. After Surah Al-Hadid, which is the 57th surah, you have Surah Al-Muzadila. This Surah Al-Muzadila is the 58th surah running down to Surah Al-Nas, which means there are 57 surahs from Muzadilat, which is the 58th surah from Muzadilat to Surah Al-Nas. So which means in actual fact, it is the midpoint of the Quran numerically, because above is 57 surahs and below from Muzadila is 57 surahs. But that does not mean that's the midpoint of the Quran at all. That does not mean that it is the midpoint. So from there, it is the last tenth. From Surah Muzadila is the last tenth. So what we do in the calculation is that the 78, that's the last tenth is number 10. So the 78 positions of the Huruf Nur in the 29 surahs plus 10 gives us 88. So we keep this 88 and go directly to the next point. The next point, which is number 3, is the Basmalat. The Basmalat appears in 114 positions in the Quran. These 114 positions in the Quran, Surah Al-Naml has 2 Basmalat. And the Basmalat that did not appear in Surah Al-Tawbat is the one that appears in Surah Al-Naml, which means Surah Al-Naml has 2 Basmalat, for the mere fact that Surah Al-Tawbat does not have one, but Surah Al-Naml has 2 Basmalat. So that's the situation. The beginning, the basmalat in the beginning, the basmalat in the surah itself. قالت يا أيها الملأ إني ألقي إلي كتاب كريم إنه من سليمان وإنه بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. So that is the basmalat that is in Surah Al-Naml. That is it. So the basmalat appears 114 times in the Quran. So this 114 times, one basmalat is divided into 3 distinctive parts. Basmalat is divided into 3 distinctive parts. One is Bismillah, the other part is Ar-Rahman, then the other part is Ar-Rahim. So these 3 distinctive parts, we have basmalat appearing in 114 places in the Quran times 3. So 114 times 3 gives us 342. So basmalat, we have 300 and mystical positions of basmalat in the Quran. Mystical and mysterious positions of basmalat in the Quran. 342. So we deserve the 342 as well. Then if you go from Fatiha to Baqarah to Surah An-Nas, if you calculate all the verses, we have 6,236 verses. 6,236 verses. So you can add this to 6,236 verses plus the basmalat 114 times 3, we have 342. Then we come here to the last tenth plus the Huruf Nur, which is 78 positions in the Quran. The 78 position plus the last tenth of the Quran, that's 78 plus 10 gives us 88. So if you add 88 plus 342 plus 6,236 plus 6,236. This is the summary here, as we can see. Summary letters of light, 78 plus 10, that is the last tenth, is equal to 88. Then Basmalat 114 times 3 is equal to 342, which is 342 here. Then the total number of verses in the Quran, if we count from Fatiha to Baqarah to Surah An-Nas, is 6,236. So if you add 88, which is for the letters of light, then 342, which is for Basmalat, then 6,236, which is for the total verses of the Quran, we can get 6,666. That's the grand total. So that's the way of calculating the surah, the verses of the Quran. That is it's beyond, that's beyond the ordinary thinking. It's beyond the ordinary thinking. It's necessary to have a critical mind. Once you have a critical mind, you can go beyond the ordinary way of thinking, then get results in terms of critical aspects in the Quran. And the Quran contains a lot of hidden powers, hidden mysteries of Allah, hidden mysteries and powers of Allah, especially in the letters, especially the letters of light. The letters of light, I'll be talking about the letters of light later on, and the other letters of darkness, 14 of them, the letters of light, 14 of them. I'll be talking about that later on in the next episodes. So I'll deal with the letters one by one in the next episode. So that's the explanation. That is the calculation. As you can see, you too can do it. I know that you can do it. So you can go through the process and you can get the correct number of verses in the Quran, 6,666 verses. So thank you very much. You can strike the like button, then you can subscribe for all, the black bell. You can subscribe for all, then you can strike the like button so that the other publications I'll be making, you'll have a share of them, and you can also share with some other people, share with the Muslim Ummah, so that they can get an idea of how to calculate the verses of the Quran. So thank you very much. My number, you have seen my number in the first page, in the introduction. You have seen my number. That's my number. You can get subsequent publications if you please subscribe and strike the like button as well, so that you can help me develop this knowledge more and more, and to share with you this knowledge. So thank you very much. It's great having you. It's great having you on screen. It's great following me. So thank you very much. So I'll get back to you. Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, the black bell, for all of the publications to reach you, so you are free to share with the Muslim Ummah all over. So thank you very much. These are some of the hidden secrets of calculating the verses of the Quran. So thank you very much. So thank you. See you in the next episode.